Alright everybody, welcome to episode 255 of Psychos Platters, powered by coffee each and every time. We're going to call this episode RIP, VCLT, and ETC. Yes, you'll find out why now. Alright, so the RIP part, rest in peace, friend of mine from the last, I would say 4 or 5 years. Former radio personality here locally, Donnie McGuire, passed away Tuesday, November 20th, at the age of 52. He started out as a DJ in the mid-1980s out of Oklahoma, and did in Oklahoma, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, and I'm told that he also dabbled a little bit in New York City, I think he told me at one point or another. But he was a friend of mine. I can call him a friend for the last couple of years. But it was really funny how I met him. He came through my store, and I heard the voice, and I said, "Wait a minute." Yeah, he always was a nice, kind man. I'm gonna miss him. Doug Fields and I went to go see him the night before at the hospital, and basically said our goodbyes, at least on this earthly plane. I kind of say that I don't like saying goodbyes, I just like saying so long. At least so long till the other side. You know what I'm saying? So this episode and a couple other episodes probably will be in dedication to Donnie. Very, very fine man. Alright, so VCLT. 2 different ones, okay? First one here, got from DJ Trish Mullins, that's right. You're always so good to me, Trish. I don't know what to tell you over there from the Jersey area. I really do like her mixed CDs, and I know some of you other people out there in the VC have gotten these in the past. Groovin' 2018, which I heard this one, pretty cool. And then this one I'm waiting for this coming weekend so we could do our Christmas festivities. Trish's Christmas picks from 2018. Also, she sent me a little letter, and I'm just going to show you. This is how it ends. Rock on, Trish. Yes. I like the drawing, Trish. I like the drawing. Once again, thank you for sending me those. Also, this one here is not music related, but it is sent to me from my son Michael, who used to live up in central Missouri, and for the last year or so has gone off and lived in the Carolinas, which I'm actually planning on going up there probably in April to go visit up there. I've never been to the Carolinas. And maybe if any of you VC members out there in the Carolinas want to do something, maybe like a record crawl or something like that, we could do that, and the time gets closer. But we're sports fans too in this house, and so is Mike. And Mike, like me, originally came from the Chicagoland area, and not too far away from where he lived. Actually, he went to his first Major League Hockey game, which for them would be the Carolina Hurricanes. They were playing the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Hurricanes barely won, from what I'm told. But he went off and sent me a really nice yearbook. He gave me the team yearbook, which I'm like, totally awesome. I like this kind of stuff. Here's a picture of Michael Furland, for example, if you're a Carolina Hurricane fan. And so he sent me that, and I thought that was totally awesome. So, of course, you know, I love Michael, and I thank him for that. So, we go from that to not really record store day, because I was kind of too ill, and my wallet was not going to be able to deal with record store day. Not this year. But that didn't mean I didn't get some Black Friday deals other places. The thing is, though, is that Barnes & Noble was a little bit disappointing this year, in my opinion anyway, okay? I ended up getting 2 books, one for myself and one for someone else. And the someone else's, it's going to be, he was a musician too, but mostly a comedian. Eric Idle. Always look on the bright side of life, a sort of biography. That's what it is. And he autographed this. And of course, he was in what band, ladies and gentlemen? What band? The Rutles. That's right. I'm a big Rutles fan. And so that's going to be kind of cool. I cannot wait to give that to who I'm going to give it to. And then this next one, you know, that scribble stuff, though, is starting to drive me nuts. A lot of the different signed books had scribbles. Ugh, drove me insane. So, this next one here, Been So Long, My Life and Music. Jorma Kaukonen, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jorma Kaukonen was a guitarist, one of the two guitar players in Jefferson Airplane from 1965 to 1972, followed by going along with Jack Cassidy to form Hot Tuna, which is still in existence. That's his scribble. Go figure. Also, I don't know if this was just Barnes & Noble edition or this is in every book. Maybe for the first pressing, I have no clue. It says here an exclusive CD inside, and it's 5 tracks. Haven't had a chance to listen to this yet. So Jorma Kaukonen from Airplane, and the price on that is $29.99, and for Eric was $27. And if you're a Barnes & Noble member, 10% off. But I would say go in there quick and get them. Also, I'm just going to throw this out there for you. Barnes & Noble had, and I stress the word had, an exclusive limited signed edition of Billy Gibbons' new solo album. Unfortunately, it came out November 11th and it already was sold out. So hopefully, though, they're going to end up and having maybe one more order down the line. So that's one of those things you may want to check barnesandnoble.com on for a fact. Alright, so got done with that little stuff there. The next thing is we happen to have some 45s. Now, the 45s, I got 4 of them. They all came from one spot, one resale shop that I never was at before in the Northwest Arkansas area, and I thought it was kind of cool. 50 cents a piece, couldn't screw this up. So, first one right off the bat from 1953 on the Recorded in Hollywood label, and I know the label, you're not going to be able to see this very well, so bear with me. It says Red Calendar Sextet, along with Scatman Crothers, who sings Papa, I Don't Treat My Little Girl Mean, which would happen to be an answer record to Ruth Brown's Mama, You Treat Your Daughter Mean. Now, Scatman Crothers started in 1951 with the label, and Red Calendar was a string bass and tuba player who in the 40s recorded with Nat King Cole, Charlie Parker, and others. He made his recording start at 19 with Louis Armstrong's band. He continued to record until 1985 and passed away in 92. Now, Scatman Crothers, if that name sounds familiar to you, good, but if not, here's how this goes. Would go on to record until the mid-50s, jumped to bit parts in films and TV. He's mainly known for his role in Chico and the Man with Freddie Prinze Sr. and the movie The Shining. He also did cartoon voices for Disney and Hanna-Barbera, Aristocats, Hong Kong Phooey, and Meadowlark Lemon on the Harlem Globetrotters cartoon. He passed away in 1986. Next, page 2, as Paul Harvey would say. Alright, this one here, even Doug Fields got a little bit kind of record envy on this in a way. From late 1950, Lowell Fulson on the Swing Time label, Blues with a Feeling. I don't have a lot of information on this, unfortunately. Very nice bluesy cuts on both sides, though. May or may not have Ray Charles on piano due to he joined Lowell's band in 1950, and he stayed with them till pretty much 53. So very nice on this label too. This next one was a quick little head scratcher. Original press though from 1954, Marilyn Monroe, River of No Return, same title from that movie. So, but get this though, if you can see it real close, and if you can't, that's okay. This is a Japanese import. This is an original Japanese import of that 45. Now, instead, all the other pressings in all around the world actually has a B-side of Gonna File My Claim from that movie also. But Japan was the only one that had You Be Surprised. There is a slight label tear on that side, along with, unfortunately, the center got popped out. I was kind of a little bit pissed about that, but, you know, it happens what it happens. And the picture sleeve, I'm told, the American version of the picture sleeve can command an easy $100 bill, alright, if you can find that. Japan supposedly had a picture sleeve too, but I think it was a little bit different. And I couldn't tell you if it was an original 54 press or when they reissued it in 64, like they did in America, if it was a 64 sleeve. I have no clue. This last one, kind of neat. I haven't had a chance to play this yet, though, okay? Not much information on this. The band is called Take 5, Such Is Life. This is from 1968 on FBP, which stood for Frank Brock Productions. The only hint I have here is garage rock from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Garage Rock from Muskogee, Oklahoma. And Discogs in this condition, sort of, had it at $50. I'm just curious. I cannot wait to listen to this to find that out too. So, take 5 from Oklahoma. Now, found a few albums while I was at it too, before I kind of got sick. Really good deals on them too, honestly. Alright, where do I want to go first? Okay, how about this? You know, you guys know how much of a Monkees fan I am. Most of you people know it's ad nauseum with the Monkees. Now, I've showed a US mono press of this before. Well, I can now say that I have an original UK mono press of Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones. Now, US actually put this out in November '67, but according to, oh boy, Monkees 45, oh God, Monkees 45 cat or .net. I'm sorry, guys, I can't read my scribble. It says here Monkees 45 cat. All right, that the UK press didn't come out till February '68, so I'm not entirely sure about this. Yes, unfortunately, it's not in the great of shape, alright, as for the cover-wise. I got a new term, at least I have, okay? It's called fanned. In other words, a fan went off and did a little scribble or did a little artwork. You know, used in a sentence, this record cover's been fanned on. So, this one here, of course, has got all the Monkees' little names above the silhouettes, and along with, of course, they decided to put them on the back, too. And, I'm assuming their favorite tracks, or at least checkmarked all the tracks, blah, 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 etc., etc. But the vinyl's in real beautiful shape. So I cannot wait to listen to this. Like I said, I've got the US, now I have the UK. And supposedly, this is actually a kind of a hard pressing to find. I want to give you a little bit more information on this, though. According to the Steve Hoffman forum, this is where I found all this stuff. Like I said, incredibly hard to find press on this. Other side facts that I learned for the Mono Birds, Bees, Monkees, which I have been searching for years. If anybody's got a Mono Birds, Bees, and Monkees original '68 press, please let me know. I really would love to buy that thing, honestly. That has been on my want list for years. So yeah, I've been looking for the US press. The UK press of that particular album, though, is a fold down, so it's not a true mono. But other countries, including Australia, Israel, the Philippines, and a handful of other ones, have true mono press, which I think is totally awesome. Also, someone mentioned on that forum that the dreaded RCA Dynaflex, I hate Dynaflex, did actually make it onto one Monkees album, and that was the Monkees Golden Hits, which came out in late 1970. They said some are on vinyl, some are on Dynaflex, so that is something else to that I'd be looking for as well. Alright, here's the thing. I've collected all these years, and I have friends of mine that have found Monkees bootlegs. I never found a Monkees bootleg until now. This is a very goofy bootleg, okay? Very goofy to me, anyway. Such a tranquil cover. Davey and his band's Rarities 3. Davey and his band's Rarities 3. Not a lot of information on this. Originally, when you bought this, okay, you had your shrink wrap. There was a Monkees sticker in the corner. So obviously, I don't have the shrink wrap. But what really got me was, of course, the silhouette. Because if you know, that silhouette looks a little familiar. Because they took it from the photo of the 1976 Monkees Greatest Hits on Arista. That's where that picture's from. But some of the track listing is kind of amusing on here. I'm not going to go into all of it, but Monkees101.com is where I got the information for the. It's great for bootleg source. It really is. So I thank him for that. Some of the main highlights on this album. Now remember, this is early '80s, and this was out of Hawaii supposedly. That's about the only information I could find on this thing. Cuts that were not released legitimately yet at that time, because Missing Links didn't come out till '87. So you got Merry Go Round, I'm a Believer, but the 33 1/3 Monkees TV special cut. Okay, Mustang, which was a Birds Bees outtake originally, but it did land on a budget CD from Flashback, which was a Monkees Rhino offshoot. So, but we're talking years later, like I think the late 90s, early O's, they ended up sticking it legitimately. I Want to Be Free, which was the fast version from the pilot episode, and lastly, Valerie, the TV version, which is a lot different than the singles version, okay? But all of those at that time were not legitimately released yet. But in a couple of years later, of course, they would be. So Davey and his band. Alright, to go from Monkees related to Beatles related. Yes, Beatles related stuff. This album, I heard about, just never thought I'd actually find the damn thing. From 1974, Mike McGeere's McGeere LP. Now, Mike McGeere, of course, was the pseudonym, alias, of Mike McCartney, Paul's brother, okay? Second solo album, that and last that he ever did. This came out in September 74, but was recorded in January, February of 74. This is the front, this is the back. This is on the Warner Brothers The Palm label, alright? Really great shape, too, on this thing. In essence, this is Mike McGeere, Paul's brother, with the early 1974 Wings lineup. Paul does perform, but only heard slightly on 2 cuts. But he's on the rest of it for bass and a bunch of other things. Now, he couldn't really be mentioned more in presence due to he was exiting his Apple Records contract. Okay, so he had to kind of keep it hush-hush, so to speak. And that's why he's really only listed as producer, and you don't hear him vocally, okay? That much. So the other ones on this particular one, of course, you got Paul, you got Linda, Denny Lane, Jimmy McCulloch, Denny Sewell on drums, along with Brian Jones. No, not that Brian Jones. I guess there was a Brian Jones that played sax in a band called The Undertakers, and that's where he came from on this sessions. Gary Conway, who played for Cat Stevens, Jethro Tull, and even Derek Taylor makes an appearance on this thing. I have not had a chance to listen to this yet. The mid-90s CD issue of this actually contains some bonus tracks as well. So Mike McGeere's McGeere on Warner. Very nice. This next album, I know you're going to probably go, what? This has been on my want list for about 30 years. I have a lot of things that have been on my want list for just about that time. And I could not believe it. I've never had one of these in my hand. That's what she said. Okay, alright, I'm kidding. Alright. George Harrison's Electronic Sound on Zapple. Zapple, that's right. Not Snapple, but Zapple. Released in May of '69, but recorded in 2 different sessions of November of '68 and February '69, alright? So you're talking just after the White Album, but also right around the time when they were working on Let It Be, he ended up doing this. Now, Zapple was a very short Apple offshoot, and I'll show you the label in a minute, I think. This album and John's unfinished music number 2, Life with the Lions, were the only ones released on that imprint. Richard Bradigan, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, was supposed to be released number 3 and made it to acetate, but was not released because in around, I think it was July or August of '69, Zapple folded. Other things that were supposed to be on there for Zapple releases, a recorded UK Lenny Bruce appearance, and a Ken Casey album were future purported releases. Alright, here's the front, and here's the back. Harrison started this in November '68 in LA while he was producing Jackie Lomax's LP. While there, Bernie Krause gave George a demo of the Moog system. George recorded the demo under the title No Time or Space, which was side 2. Krause was miffed to discover George recorded this without his knowledge and was going to use parts of this on an upcoming album with Paul Beaver. George had the 3rd Moog ever in the UK at the time. George drew the cover, and it reached only 191 in the Billboard charts. And LP in America and Canada, switched titles on vinyl, but not the labels. So pretty cool on this, on the whole Zappa label. And by the way, also on the original pressings, if you take a look here, because it was originally crossed out, it says produced by George Harrison, but then it also was supposed to be Krause in here. And under the silver, you actually can see the name. So I know I got an original press on that sucker too. Not too shabby. 2 new subs this week, Stannis the Manus with the Platters and Carix 05. I gotta get going, guys. Commercials will be next episode. You guys take care, rock on, God bless, and you know what, just take care of yourselves, okay, this holiday season. Bye-bye.